What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and when we realized that Amazon was going to be doing a Lord of the Rings series that was focused on identity politics and virtue signaling, as opposed to making something that was actually based on the work of J.R.R. Tolkien, a lot of us thought that this was going to go down in a very similar way that we've seen play out with franchise after franchise over the last several years. And in a large way, that did happen. The playbook has been set. We know what these people will do. We know they're going to go out and attack fans. We know that normies may eat up some of this stuff. But the Lord of the Rings fandom proved to be a very different animal than what we've seen with Star Wars, with Marvel, with all of these other things. Because the Lord of the Rings fans, the actual super fans, have made their voices heard loud and clear. We saw that with these trailers. Like, the ratio continues to jump up. At this point, the trailers basically stalled out in terms of views, but you have a heavy ratio, 144,000 down to just over 100,000 up. And that repeated everywhere. Everywhere they put this trailer up, this was the reaction. And what has now been pointed out to everyone is this is the cycle that Lord of the Rings is in right now, that Amazon's Lord of the Rings is in, just like all these other franchises have. Josiah pointed this cycle out the other day, and the response that he got and his clapback are perfect, and it perfectly encapsulates what Amazon is trying to do in the audience it's trying to capture versus that of the actual Lord of the Rings fan base. And we're going to get into this. Lord of the Rings is in this cycle right now, and it sucks. Take another beloved franchise, remove everything unique and appealing, insult fans, experience short-term success with normies, normies leave, apathy kicks in, and the franchise dies, rinse and repeat. And someone that responded to him had one of the dumbest possible takes imaginable, and Josiah blew him out of the water with actual facts, with actual words from Tolkien himself, which is what makes this so perfect. Look at this. It's a screenshot because, as you later find out, he deleted this tweet. Lol, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. Tolkien never, not once, describes what any of his characters looks. That's not an actual sentence. I assume he means looked like. Other than hobbits having larger feet, but otherwise we have no idea what elves look like or dwarves. Christopher Tolkien hated Lord of the Rings movies. Now, I will say that, Christopher, his son, had a lot of problems with what Peter Jackson did, as did a lot of other Tolkien fans. But at the end of the day, I think the vast majority of people realized, it was coming still from a sense of love for this franchise, for love of what Tolkien wrote, and that Peter Jackson tried to do what he could to put that in a movie. But Josiah did respond to this guy, absolutely fucking demolishes him. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. 3 Lord of the Rings character descriptions in a row. And he literally posts this screenshot from Lord of the Rings. A description of Gandalf, Glorfindel, and then Elrond. All exactly describing how they look. But this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with actual fans like Josiah, actual fans who know this stuff that have a problem with what Amazon is doing, versus these people who have literally no idea what they're talking about. That's why the reaction to something like this was so powerful. This video that is unlisted, that shows these super fans, Lord of the Rings super fans, review Lord of the Rings Rings of Power official teaser trailer. And then we find out that all these people care about for some reason is diversity and representation. That's all that they talked about virtually in this entire thing. We also find out that these people are all actors. And then, of course, Disparu exposes that they did one of these for all these different countries. And videos were set up exactly the same way, that they told these people what to do, how to react, at what time, what they wanted them to look like when they were reacting to this. This is fake. They're not actually talking to Lord of the Rings super fans. It is all engineered. That's why the actual fan base is rejecting this so hard. We got to look at these ratios, and not on Disparu's video, because that is a very, very good ratio when you look at the likes to dislikes. That's what I would expect from someone who actually knows what they're talking about. But when it comes to things like this, 174 likes to 16 15,000 dislikes. That is absolutely insane. But I mean, it matches up with, the short, the fan teaser fan reaction, demolished. The UK trailer, demolished. Each and every time we see these things, we see the actual fans pushing back. Tolkien fans, Lord of the Rings fans. This is a different animal than what you're used to with the Star Wars and the Marvel audience, which is heavily normie. You see people wearing Batman shirts and Superman shirts like all over the place all the time. That's common practice because it's so in the pop culture for normies. You don't see people walking around with like a Bilbo shirt or a Gandalf shirt. That's just not something that happens. Such a big portion of people that care about this care about the books, care about so much of the lore. And Amazon is finding that out the hard way. I did want to go back to Josiah's thing just to prove the point that he's making here. Let's read a little bit of this, how descriptive Tolkien was. Gandalf was shorter in stature than the other two, but his long white hair, his sweeping silver beard, his broad shoulders made him look like some wise king of ancient legend. In his aged face, under great snowy brows, his dark eyes were set like coals that could leap suddenly into fire. Glorfindel was tall and straight. His hair was of shining gold, his face fair and young and fearless and full of joy. His eyes were bright and keen, his voice like music. On his brow sat wisdom, and in his hand was strength. The face of Elrond was ageless, neither old nor young, though in it was written the memory of many things both glad and sorrowful. That his hair was dark as the shadows of twilight, and upon it was a set of a circlet of silver. His eyes were gray as a clear evening, and in them was a light like the light of stars. This is so descriptive of these characters. But people like this, the bitch that deleted his tweet, right? Because he got wrecked, because he got proven wrong, because he got proven an absolute fake fan. These are the people that Amazon's trying to appeal to. Right now, they are losing the battle. Amazon is losing this battle against Tolkien fans. That's what the ratios are saying. That's why we have all of these hit pieces that are out there, them trying to explain the backlash to the diverse casting. It's just a small fringe minority of racists who can't handle it. No. It's the majority of Lord of the Rings fans that are saying, this doesn't respect Tolkien's work. This doesn't make sense with what you are doing. But they can't admit that. The press, the media, they're out there to run cover for them. But so far, like I said, they are losing this battle, and eventually they will lose the war because I don't see the pressure letting up anytime soon. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.